So thank you, Laura, can everybody hear me? And thank you, Mary, for inviting me to spend a few minutes. It really is an honor to be here. I attended the event back in March and became a friend of Mary, which has turned out to be a very good thing. So anybody who needs to be a friend of Mary should be definitely a friend of Mary. I've been an entrepreneur for probably the last 20, 25 years, working in startups and early stage companies. And the opportunity to join a public company, which I never thought I would do, to lead a new business group focused on leveraging Hasbro's assets, really in new markets, new channels, in ways that when we think about Hasbro assets, I think about everybody thinks of our iconic brands and games, but there's so much more: gamification, engagement, value engineering, which is something I think is needed in this space. And it's really been super exciting to work with this team. 18 months later, we've brought a product to market after doing our research. I'm going to really sort of start at the end game so that I can add some context. I have a couple colleagues here who I'll ask to pass out a couple of our first product. That's a Joy for All companion pet cat, which we designed specifically for seniors in the aging, which we call aging loved ones. And they're set on a mode that mutes the meows so they won't distract all of us all the time. But if you pay attention to them, I sound way better. So I'm going to start with a quick video and give you a sense of why we're here and add some context.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could give the gift of comfort, companionship, and joy to your aging loved ones? With realistic fur, purrs, and meows, Hasbro's Joy for All companion pets deliver a soothing, joyful experience that inspires smiles, laughter, and fond memories.
It's so relaxing. It does, it just relaxes you completely.
Watch as Gary is first introduced to the companion pet. A connection is made. You see it right before your eyes.
I think so too.
Give the gift of joy and comfort with Joy for All companion pets.
So we launched this brand in November, which was about 10 months after our group was officially formed. And the amazing opportunity at Hasbro is that it is an asset-rich environment. And we had a blank canvas, and really we had to think about what markets could we have sustainable, scalable impact, and leverage those things that Hasbro does every day with the mandate to be in new markets and new channels, which by definition is not in the toy aisle, right? So a pretty exciting challenge, but we also know that all of that asset-rich environment for entrepreneurs can be a distraction and lead to getting a little off course. So we launched this brand, and really Joy for All is a brand promise to create and design products specifically for aging loved ones. And the team that has been working on this for the last 18 months has been really excited. But what we knew is that in a big company like Hasbro, $4.5 billion in revenue, you've got to have some milestones that you hit and achieve, and in order to achieve success, which we define as make it to year 2 and continue to be a new business group at Hasbro. So like most things at Hasbro, it started with great consumer insights. So we have a global consumer insights team that is keeping the pulse on trends both locally and globally every day, but more importantly is in a conversation continuously with our customers and our fans. And those dialogues and understanding how customers are using our products or what they expect next really guides the roadmap at Hasbro. So a couple of the things that I've learned as an entrepreneur is that going where the opportunity is really important, but also grabbing as much of the low-hanging fruit as you possibly can. So we explored different marketplaces in education, learning, health and wellness, and other areas. And the insights that we dug into existed around the company for a number of years, that there were products that we had created for a 4 to 8 year old child that actually weren't being bought by mom or dad for their child. They were actually buying it for an aging loved one, and then they were writing reviews about the impact it was having on those things. So we really leaned into that insight. This picture is in one of the areas at Hasbro where we typically have kids testing and playing with toys, and we observed, so the interactions, how it's going. This was a unique event, and we brought folks in, and we had all sorts of different products. And the insights that really resonated were a couple things. One, there's sort of a gap or a need state, if you will, for products created for aging loved ones that actually are fun and joyful and encourage play. Another insight is that the aging loved ones want to have fun and joy and play. And so that was great. We also heard a lot about a pervasive problem of isolation and loneliness. And so we dug into that a little bit more, and there was a bunch of insights around this idea of interactive companionship. And we had some products previously that had some of those attributes, and we actually went to this community and went into assisted living and nursing homes and in residential situations, and we said, what kind of features? And the result of that, with amazing engineers and designers that we work with at Hasbro, is the first product, which is the Joy for All companion pet cat, and they're very realistic, act like cats. A lot of features built in, like it never does the same thing or what you want it to do when you want it to do it, like a real cat. So as you interact and have sensors, it won't do the same thing all the time. One of the things has been in other entrepreneurial ventures is that you really are building off the consumer insights. You're excited about getting to the customer, understanding it. But inside of a large corporate environment, we had sort of a twofold issue. One was not only making sure that we were hitting a need state in the customer base, but we were aligned with corporate objectives and corporate values. And that was really important. So as opposed to creating a culture, even though we're a small, sort of nimble startup within this big organization, we needed to make sure that we were doing things in line with what it means to be at Hasbro. And I think our values embrace what every entrepreneur in this room would say are part or hope for part of their culture. And we're really excited. And the one that we point to all the time, and I hear our CEO talking about constantly, is be courageous. And so to be in a big corporate environment and have not only the sort of support, but the mandate to be courageous is really an exciting place to be for an entrepreneur. And we're buoyed by that. We also believe that aligning with really important corporate pillars or objectives are important. And so for the last decade or so, Hasbro's had a real focus on increasing our share of life. And really that's about meeting our customers and fans where they are, when they want us, when they want to be there, and exposing them to more and different things. And so I think about things like storytelling. We'll hear a little bit about that from a speaker in a couple minutes, but that's central to everything that we do at Hasbro. Again, being able to provide a digital experience in these things. And I think the Joy for All brand really helps Hasbro talk about this idea of expanding our share of life quite significantly to a completely new demographic. The other piece is, you've got to pick a market opportunity that has scale. And scale is defined in a couple ways. It's a big enough issue both in the U.S. but also globally. As we've done our research and talked to folks and gotten partners, this is a global issue that's growing and increasing. This demographic is growing, and people are not only aging in place, but people are aging in a way that they want to enjoy their life every single day. And so that's really exciting. Our global footprint, which is something we've got to make sure that we're not just dealing with local or regionalized issues, that it's something that can scale to map that. And as an entrepreneur, that's a pretty nice backdrop to have as a place to go next if you pick the right opportunity. This, I think, this is the most important slide as far as what I think. We know who we are, and I think it's critically important that every entrepreneur sort of knows who they are and what they're doing. We're never going to be Johnson & Johnson or AARP or United Healthcare, but a lot of those folks are concerned about the same issues that we're working on, but come at it from very different perspectives. And together, in unique partnerships or just informal or formal, working together to solve these problems, coming at it from all the different perspectives, we have a greater opportunity to be impactful and really move the needle. We just, one of the unique partnerships we just executed is with Meals on Wheels, who, it's more than just the meal, which is their mantra. It's about isolation and loneliness, and about 80-something% of the meals that are delivered, it's the only social interaction the recipient has each day. That's a huge issue. And so we see the opportunity to take that and attack it together and think about how can we improve that, how can we make a difference. So unwavering focus is something that people like me with high degrees of ADHD have a problem with. That's actually me there who's saying be focused, and I'm looking at the squirrel, but they didn't want to use my picture. But everybody talks about the shiny penny syndrome. You can't be looking at the next shiny penny. Well, I can tell you at Hasbro, shiny pennies look really, really fun. So every day there's a million distractions outside of our office that we could, get distracted. Boy, wouldn't this be great if we did this or that? And the idea of staying focused towards this end game, understanding that in order to get to the 5-year goal, we've got to get to the 1-year goal. We've got to get to the 2-year goal. And we're focused on that every day because at the end of the day, we're competing with investment dollars that, the company could put into brands that are well established and growing very well, and we have to show them there's a reason to be. The intangibles were, incredibly creative team, people who are willing to band together around this. We've got, folks who've been in the company decades, people who are new to the company, and so keeping that nimble focus, but also living within the process that's not too far outside the boundaries of a big company has been really important. The creativity, the innovation, the designers, and then the unexpected. When we launched this product in November, our press release got over 1 billion media impressions in about a week. We have gotten incredible. The team spends a ton of time reading the reviews every day and letting our customers tell us how these products are impacting their lives. And it is meaningful and inspiring and emotional in a lot of cases. So that we're able to live our mission every day. And our mission is to create the world's best experiences. The Joy for All team doesn't think that has an age limit. And you never know where these cats might end up. So even Mary Furlong up there. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.